Who knows how to make an offer?
Teach me something I don't know.
Could you share this?
You are a benefit. I will say that, Orien. You are a benefit.
We've got nearly 20 people on the call.
This is the way that they can move to the next level.
And today, we're going to be talking about, honestly, like, if you can make an offer so good, people would feel stupid saying no to, you can have a $100 million GoHighLevel offer. JJ, what's your $100 million GoHighLevel offer? How do you do it? Because JJ,
how do I do my 100 million GoHighLevel offer?
Well, I think you mentioned you had like 1,000 or so sub accounts.
Yeah. So it's really comes down to 94% of those were referrals. It's about relationships. So 99% of it is just giving the clients the love and the trust and the credibility that they deserve, and being there for them.
What you've done is incredible. I mean, to get majority of those 1,000 SaaS sub accounts to be referrals and obviously to deliver such love, trust, and credibility. That's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to try and create something that's maybe a little bit as sexy as JJ's offer. So do we know what the Hormozy equation is? Who's read the book? Who's read it? Yes or no? You can put it in the comments. Tony, what did you like about the book in one sentence?
What did I like about it?
Yeah.
I'm a big overthinker, and I felt like it made it so, like, getting up and off the ground so simple that it allowed me to kind of take action. Honestly, it's probably the reason I even started my own business.
Yeah, on the dot. But the premise of it is creating your Grand Slam offer. It's creating a dream outcome, creating a perceived likelihood of achievement divided by time delay and effort and sacrifice, which creates the value, which creates your offer. Now, I've gone into great depth. I think we discussed pain and confidence last time, and then the 6 pillars of client acquisition for psychology. I don't know if anyone can remember those. This was quite a fun one. And we boiled down client acquisition to just these 6 points: having a drive, goal, problem, pain, and action, plus confidence, which is the varying level or sort of how competent and capable and trustworthy are you. With the Hormozy equation, he drew it out like this. It's basically a diagram that goes over what determines value. It's giving you the ultimate result, the guarantee or proof that you can achieve that result, how quickly you can achieve it, and then what level of time commitment or resources they need to invest into it. A lot of the times when you're starting out, you sort of, especially marketers, we like to make bigger and bigger claims. But in reality, you've got companies like Netflix or Amazon that's truly focused on reducing the time and reducing the effort and sacrifice to achieve the result. Now, who can tell me a bit about dream outcome and how does your offer reach that person's dream outcome? Vanessa.
For me, it's actually structured for coaches and consultants.
Okay.
And then what we do is pretty much systemize all of for example, we ran a 5-day challenge where we create the dream outcome is that you're just going to go ahead and plug and play. So in that way, all system is already been set and ready to go. And all you need to do is just like drop your link. So if you are a coach, all you need to do is just keep showing up in the organic marketing, which we already have like use case studies for coaches who made 120,000 after that system build out.
That is a great perceived likelihood of achievement and dream outcome that you just mentioned there.
Yeah.
As you can hear, guys, like it truly is. The dream outcomes there is 55K per month with limited work using emails, and the perceived likelihood of achievement is that she has a case study that can prove that it works. So, and here's a quick thing as well. If you're selling to men, especially us younger guys, status would probably is a huge driver for us humans. Like, we want to climb the hierarchy, we want to build status. So if you can relay the results to how it will increase our perceived status in the hierarchy, people are willing to pay more for the confidence that they're in the hands with someone who can deliver the results. And I want to underline, bold that, and then highlight that in red, right? If you're starting out, please do not oversell yourself. we discussed this last time. Do not fake it till you make it. Just be brutally honest with them, right? And this is crucial through your messaging. Like once you do get that first client and you do amazing things for them, like Vanessa, like the rest of you guys, testimonials, success stories, guarantees, and then producing a crazy offer that screams confidence is way better than lying. So if you're going to help someone, help them and let them, be transparent with them. It ruins not just your own reputation, but go high level agency owners' reputations themselves. The world's becoming more transparent. Business owners know what go high level is. So best be honest, tell them what it is. And the way you differentiate yourself is yourself, it's your team, and then it's the level of delivery that you can do for them. That's how you differentiate yourself. Speaking of differentiating yourself, time delay, right? So from when you sign up to when you get the results. There was a term in client success, JJ, or someone knows about it. It's like activation points. So as soon as someone signs up, what are the activation points that they unlock when they first sign up? I signed up to a coaching course, for instance, and their first course, their first lesson, their first video is, hey, I just want to give you value back. Here's one quick tip that I recommend that can probably double your show rate. Boom, implemented it, was worth the investment just through that one tip. So if you can get micro milestones to create a sense of momentum, right? Showing them that they are on the right track. These, little wins, immediate emotional wins. Like this is my little micro milestone personally. Like we've got nearly 20 people on the call, and it's just like I didn't think that would happen. So thank you all again, hearts. If you can deliver just small tangible outcomes and stick to your word and say you'll do it and come prepared, you build that trust. You build what JJ mentioned, a list of clients, a list of referrals that love you and respect you, and deliver the end results and the end dream outcome. And then finally, effort and sacrifice. Who recognizes this? Does anyone recognize this from the book?
No.
So this is a diagram comparing fitness effort and sacrifice to liposuction. So why can something cost 50 grand? And why can something cost $99 a month, if not less?
Because you have to put in sweat equity.
Yes. If you're not paying with your time, you're paying with your money. So I saw it online as well. It's like when something's free, you're the actual person that they're marketing to. Social media is free because you're the consumable, right? Which fitness and effort and sacrifice required for going to the gym and getting in shape, or, falling asleep, waking up and being sore for 2 to 4 weeks. Which one would you go for?
A.
Same thing with meditation and Xanax. They both offer the vehicle of relaxation.
Mm-hmm.
But one's a multi-million-dollar business and one is free. You see, people are leaning more into the less effort, the less sacrifice, as opposed to the sort of the do-it-yourself, the done-with-you methodology. So, and
which could lead to being addicted, right?
Correct. Correct.
And you're not getting a natural level
Dopamine.
of sleep. You feel like if you don't have it, you can't get it.
Yep.
It's almost like crack.
Yeah, it is. And that's the thing. Like, I mean, if we're using meditation, for example, right? Meditation is sort of is a do-it-yourself relaxation model where it's, harder to sell on, like harder to actually implement because you got to invest the time, you got to do it yourself. It's for free, easy to fulfill, but hard to sell. Whilst selling Xanax, easy to sell, but then probably hard to fulfill because you need to, make the drugs, produce the drugs, sell the drugs. It's a bad example, but you get my point, right? And this is sort of the spectrum that Go High Level business owners deal with. There's the done for you side of things, which at scale is ridiculously difficult for anyone who has more than like 10 clients or done for you. Yeah, that's a bitch. It's hard. You either have to start white labeling other third-party companies, or you have to mass hire. I don't know how many people JJ has in his team, but I can bet it's a lot. So, whilst on the other side, there's the do-it-yourself, done with you SaaS model, harder to sell because it's more effort and sacrifice, but easier to fulfill because you can just give them the support, give them the group coaching, and then also give them the actual software as well. Yeah, so that's sort of the key elements of a Grand Slam offer. I've created some worksheets. Now I'm in the process of building something called Go High Level Money Models. And in that sort of training video, there's a series of worksheets that need to be completed for you to get the best understanding on how to really maximize Go High Level, build your $100 million offers. These questions are questions that need to be answered in order for you to have a viable niche, viable set of clientele. This is an example that I did for med spas specifically, understanding who they are, what they do, and how they work. How to build your $100 million Go High Level offer worksheet, right? Defining the niche, the outcome, how long it will take, how will you achieve it, getting real value. And then finally, your pitch, your short form messaging, your long form messaging, right? When I say 10x your life, or make America great again, right? Or connect the people you love. I hear less of Amazon and Facebook and Google. But if I say make America great again, you can probably tell who I'm talking about, right? That's his short form messaging. We need short form messaging for people to know who we are. We need long form messaging so that you can get, your 1 minute pitch in front of a multi-billion dollar CEO. You need the strategy in which you deliver those results. And you also need, finally, your short pitch on how you can produce that result. So if you want, I can send over sort of some of these links in the chat and we can go through them together.
Could you share this?
Okay, certainly.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, of course. This is all for you guys. But specifically, niche research worksheet, like I've told the story before, but finding your natural niche selection, you can find something you love and not just love, but also align with in terms of value-wise. So with these worksheets, I'm just going to talk about the niche research worksheet first. There are about 9 or so questions that need to be ticked off. If they're not ticked off, don't go for that niche. And the first one is specifically if the niche is in pain. There's no point going after a niche that's not in pain, right? Hormozi uses the hot dog analogy. So after, you're out, you're drunk, it's 2 a.m., you're starving, and there's a hot dog stand outside the bar. Can you guess the demand for that hot dog stand?
That hot dog demand is high.
High. And guess how much they can
$20, and
exactly.
Somebody will pay it.
Exactly. So they are hungry, they are in pain, they want a solution to that problem. There was another book I read. Who read Gap Selling? So Gap Selling is a great sales book, and it talked about how this guy was, he was in the middle of the road. He was about to go see the president for dinner, and his truck ran out of gas. So he was there on the ditch. He was like, thumbs up, hey, please help me out. A truck came by. The guy gave the story on his situation. Man, I need to get to the White House now. And the truck driver said, sure, it's going to cost you $2,000. It's like a 1-hour drive. And the guy paid for it because he was in a painful problem and he needed that solution immediately. Yeah, just make sure you have enough oil for your truck. Does the broader market your niche operates in need what you're offering, right? Does your market actually need what you have to offer? Are you offering Go High Level SaaS at $97 per month? Because there's like a few other people doing it, just saying, like probably 60,000 other people. So you want to be careful with what you're offering because you don't want to saturate the offering. There's no such thing as niche saturation, but there is such thing as saturated offerings. So try and differentiate yourself in a way that you are differentiated. What are you saying, Vanessa?
Oh, there's about 93,000+ people in the Facebook group High Level community alone. So you're talking about it's just like, totally nailing.
yeah, exactly. So and the niche is expanding. Like work in a niche that is expanding, and then also work in a niche that can ideally sustain high ticket pricing. Because I don't know about you, but it's pretty difficult to sell 100 people on $97 a month as opposed to someone on a done for you service of $1,000 a month. Just saying, I don't know. I think personally, the do it yourself low SaaS requires a lot of skill. Because you need to gather all that attention, probably produce a webinar, go ahead and do the low ticket conversion selling. I much prefer one-on-one and actually having them invest a little bit more money to get the done for you and the one-on-one services that they deserve to truly transform their business. So charge high and charge recurring, especially if you're doing done for you. Genuinely passionate about your niche. Now, it's not passion, it's more, like I said earlier, it's your ethics. Does it align with what you're doing here? And how large, like, is your audience large enough to support that growth, right? Will the niche support scalable growth beyond $10,000 per month? A great way to tell is if there are other agency owners or other business owners who are doing better than you. Competition isn't bad. It means it's possible. And if it's possible, you can do it. Just got to figure out how. Which is the next point. There you go. Is there competitors? Can people realistically differentiate yourself and get results? And then can you provide repeatable, scalable services with minimal operational complexity? We discussed this last time in one of our training videos. When you start to navigate into different niches, have different offers, and work with different types of people, you exponentially increase the operational complexity of your business. Who has more than one niche that they work with?
I do. Yeah.
How hard is that?
It sucks.
How much? How much does it suck?
That's probably my biggest problem right now. I feel like it's such a limiting factor with creating an offer.
And how many offers do you have?
Everybody has a custom package at this point.
Gotcha. Okay. And how much work does that take?
Or more than it needs to.
And then you have the likes of JJ, who, and this is what I mean earlier by like low ticket SaaS. I think it takes especially someone who doesn't work in a niche or who can offer a vast range of services in different niches. You have to be like really freaking good at what you do.
Here's the thing. Marketing has not changed in 150, 200 years. Marketing has been exactly the same since town criers in medieval times. You need to be loud and wake up your audience. Every single niche can benefit from that. The only thing that changes by the person in the business is the copy that you write. That is it. And that's how we manage it.
I got a question on that too. I mean, I saw you threw your offer in there. Do you feel like just kind of getting, like I said, I have a custom offer for everybody. Everybody's getting something different. I imagine that is kind of a major limiting factor with serving multiple niches, is also serving multiple niches multiple different ways.
Look at the way GHL does it. You have snapshots, right? You know, when GHL first came out, they had 12 snapshots, almost all 12 of those snapshots that you can just click on a button, loads an account. They were for, because GHL started in the mom and pop business, most of those snapshots were built for mom and pops. But if you notice that each one of those snapshots was exactly the same framework, just different copy. So when somebody comes to me for done for you services, we have packages. You get a website, 3 funnels, and a workflow. We don't use snapshots. We custom build these, but we have frameworks that we start off with. And then we build and scale from there. And it really depends on the business. So, I have a client in town who's a medical office here in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Medical office is not trying to sell something, but they still are trying to attract clientele, right? People get sick, people get hurt, they need to go see a doctor. Just depends on, who's going to get that business, right? So if they have a website that explains what kind of doctor they are and it touches to the human aspect, this is our framework. We speak to the human. Marketing is just empathy at scale. Everybody's trying to speak to the features and all this other stuff. They're not speaking to the humans. Humans, have 6 basic needs in life. And if you speak to those, you're going to make money. You don't have to niche. Now, can you get a bluer ocean niching? Of course. I've always said that, some people say niches are riches. My saying in my company is niches get you in the ditch, as long as you have a framework. So most people coming to you for marketing, they're looking for significance, when actually you need to give them what they want, make them what they need. What they need is connection. They need to connect to their clientele. So think of it from a package point of view. I don't know who mostly you serve right now, but you can start with your most successful campaign. Okay, I built a website in this funnel, and we did these ad templates for this person, and that made them $1 million. All right, let's reverse engineer that. How do we do that for every single one of our clients without breaking our brain? But you can go back to Zig Ziglar, you can go back to Eckhart Tolle, you can, go back to the greats. One of my favorites was I was mentored by Rory Sutherland. If you don't know who he is, he actually is the guy who runs the Ogilvy Foundation. So he was actually mentored by Ogilvy. Look up his book, Alchemy, by Rory Sutherland. That book will teach you everything you need to know about advertising and marketing. And that's the other thing too. You need to understand the difference between advertising and marketing. They are 2 different beasts. Advertising itself, like I said earlier, is waking people up. Think of it this way. You walk in Walmart, there's 300 people around you. You're screaming at the top of your lungs and nobody is noticing you. So you're starting to get frustrated. You're starting to get mad. You're starting to get angry. And then you go up and you grab that one person. You say, listen to me. And they stand there and listen. And now you're happy. That is advertising. Marketing itself is the process of getting people through the rest after the advertising's already been done. And don't be afraid of direct mail and things like that too, based on your clientele. We do direct mail, we do pay-per-click, we do social media, we do websites, we do funnels. It's just who's louder and who's going to grab you. Build a framework that works, that's worked for clients for you in the past, and replicate that framework. The only thing that needs to change is the copy.
So how would you go about, how would you go about if you were completely new and you needed to get your first 10 clients through acquisition methods? Right.
I get on the damn phone. To start your business, you need a laptop, you need a phone, and you need a notepad. And you might want a backpack.
What is the backpack for?
To hold your laptop and your phone and your notebook. Just ask my wife. I got 100 backpacks. People ask me where my money goes. Just look at my backpack box. First, if you're just starting out, you want to get your first 10 clients. Pick up the phone. What are you passionate about? Are you passionate about making other people money, or are you passionate about making yourself money? Because if you're just passionate about making yourself money, you're not going to make any money. But if you're passionate about helping people, you're going to make money. And especially in the advertising and marketing world, my first client, so my degree is actually in systems engineering. Then I found out marketing makes more money. My very first client, I literally met at a Comic-Con at the bar, and he's talking about, I really want to become an A-list celebrity. And we're drinking, we're about our third shot of whiskey in, and I said, dude, I'll build you a website, a fan website, and once you got all these fans yelling for you, I guarantee a studio is going to grab you. He paid me $500. He's still my client to this day for a website that just was like a street team on a page. And this is 1998 when I had to use Dreamweaver to make this damn website, okay? So, just think of the tools we got now.
Who is that client?
Nathan Fillion.
Dreamweaver takes me back. Jesus.
Favorite actor, Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, so Nathan was just now playing, the one evil in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That was the first role that he actually got where he got paid, and he wasn't getting paid a lot. A lot of people don't know this. He only got paid $125 per episode.
Wow.
And then later on, he got Serenity, he got Firefly, then he got, Castle. Castle was the biggest breakthrough. I mean, I personally think it was Firefly, but Castle was really the biggest breakthrough, that really shot his career up. All from a $500 freaking website. And his own ambition. I mean, this is a guy who will call studios all day long to get a freaking part. To this day still. And he's an executive producer now. He can make his own damn TV shows. The Rookie, a lot of people don't know this, he pays for that entire show. The network barely gives him anything but the space and the food and, the staff.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of that comes out of his own pocket. So, but to get a part, he will bug the hell out of somebody. And you got to be the same way. You want to get your first 10 clients who love, trust, and then they're going to refer you to 100 more people. If you think about it, if just one person, and yes, I'm going to say this nasty word that everybody in marketing thinks is the worst word, think of it like an MLM. I know it's such a bad word, but those guys are freaking geniuses. I know I still buy my doTERRA oils every freaking month, okay? All right, those guys are geniuses because they may give you just a little money on top, but if you think about it from a business perspective, if I go and I make an amazing funnel for Orien, and it makes him $1 million, is he not going to tell 10 of his friends?
Probably will.
Same thing with, Gustin Sun. He's the big funnel builder nowadays. Everybody wants Gustin Sun. And I love it. People are like, aren't you jealous because he's getting all your clients? I mean, no, he's a beast. And he did it the same way. He got his marquee clients. Those marquee clients said, look at this amazing funnel. Look at this amazing website. And they go and contact Gustin. Right? Same thing when ClickFunnels came out. All these people found out how easy it was because if you think about before ClickFunnels, we were using ThriveThemes, we were using WordPress. Some people were using lead pages came before, ClickFunnels. Some of the other tools, well, even Keep had sort of a funnel system. He just made it easier to use, and then all the marketing bros started using it. And who are the loudest people in the room? Marketing bros.
Yeah.
Those guys are worse than CrossFitters. Well, I'm trying to be somewhat nice. Okay. So just call people. You don't need a niche. If you decide that you love working with one person, one set of people better, that's up to you, and you can create a following behind that. I love working with everybody. I love learning new things. I've been working with AI since I was a teenager. People don't realize it's been around since the 60s because, all the marketing bros started making it cool, right? But, I love it. And all the new things. Now I have AI in my pocket. I got AI in my hands. And I'm playing with this thing all freaking day long. If you think about the 2000 pop-ups have been around 10 years, but then all of a sudden they became a big thing. And then, of course, pop-ups, almost damn near became illegal, but so did SMS marketing because, again, marketing bros. I can get on my marketing bro snap, soap up too, but I'm not going to do that today. Just go out there and get the business, people. That's, people want an easy button. It's not easy when you start. It's an easy button for me now because I got employees to do the work. And here's the funny part, guys. When I came out of retirement, I work with somebody else who's above me. Brad Hart, my partner in Make More Marbles, he owns more of the company than I can touch. That is my other business, is Make More Marbles. We help people build masterminds. We help people build amazing things. And now we're going into the AI realm. Brad's in charge. I'm the entrepreneur. Well, no, I can't say that because I actually get a piece of the business, but I still have to, do what Brad says. You know why that's so easy for me? Because I do what my clients tell me to do, to a point. If they bitch and whine, I give them their money back and tell them to go home. But I got space to do that.
Yeah, so some people don't have that luxury, JJ. We've got bills to pay.
Right? You got bills to pay. Hey, I got 6 kids and an ex-wife.
Okay.
I know bills.
Okay.
But one of the things is, a little Irish boy who's the only white boy in his neighborhood and meth head parents is in a point where I am right now just because I didn't stop. When I decided I needed food, I joined the Navy when I was 16 on an HP3 waiver. Sit there, and that's where I learned most of my tenacity, but I already had ADHD, so, we just combined the two, right? I built my first business while I was in the Navy. That business grew to $682 million. I sold it and gave it all away because I didn't know who my friends were. I used the same techniques I used 20 years ago to build the business I have today. It doesn't change. It's just the way it's worded changes. People give it new names.
If you were to go back and start again, what would be the offer? What would be the form of service delivery? Because I know for me, when I started, I was like shooting bricks, I didn't know what to deliver a client. Is it content? Is it paid ads? Is it AI? Is it email marketing? What is it?
It's websites. They will never die.
Oh.
I'll build you a website for $1,000. I build 10 of those. I got $10,000. It takes me 4.5 days by myself to build a quality website with the tools we have today. Back when I started, it took about 2 weeks because, Blake knows this, Dreamweaver.
And in fact, Angela, I don't know if Angela wants to jump on. She's got an avocado toast. So Angela's just got into the website and she's really good at that. What sort of advice would you have for Angela?
One thing that I do now, well, my team does it now, but it's something that I used to do was I'd actually build the website first, send them an email saying, check this website out. I know you want it. Let me know. And then get on a call. I don't even tell them price because if they email me back, they liked it enough that I can make my own price.
And how high can you charge, JJ?
The biggest website, I think, on just a single website for the cost was $52,000. Here's how I look at money, and maybe this will help some of you make your offers too. My living cost, and I know some of you are probably going to find this surprising, is $6,300. That's it. That's how much I need to pay my bills in my house, make sure there's food for my kids, make sure my dogs are fed, make sure the chickens are fed, because yes, we got chickens, so all y'all paying $12 for a dozen of eggs, I don't need to, and everything else. I live in Cheyenne, Wyoming. My mortgage is cheap as hell, right? Maybe I need a new business, right? Anyway, so $6,300 total is all I pay in my bills. So I always want to say I want 20% above that to live comfortable, right? So that means me and my kids get to go on vacation. I got a new MacBook, whatever. I just need 20% above that 6,300. Now, anything after that goes back into the business to hire more employees, get more resources, and then get leverage. That's the biggest thing you need is leverage. Most people make the mistake of, I just want all that money and I can do all this work. Then they get burnt out and then they lose all the money. Anything above that number, whatever that number is for you, you put right back into the business. You build your team. Now your team's doing all the work. So, that's how I make money. I just know how much I need to live.
I agree.
That's the biggest thing.
And I just want to add here as well. Has anybody read the book Profit First?
Does he say that? I've never read his book.
I love that book. That really puts a lot of things into perspective, not just with, making money, but also how to get there. It really gives a full roadmap. Like there were certain books that I read that I was just like, I'm doing this like so wrong. Like you think you want to take care of everybody else first, but you really have to take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, then it's like, how can you really function to take care of everybody else?
Yeah, so did I just explain profit first and didn't know that? You know where I learned
Yeah.
that method? You know where anybody know where Pittsburgh, California is?
No.
Okay, so I grew up in Pittsburgh, California. You're talking, like I don't lie when I say I was the only white boy in my neighborhood. There's a 68-year-old black lady who sit there and she actually sold snow cones. She takes Sprite, put them on the snow cones with some cherry ice right outside her door. I would go and find quarters just to buy these snow cones. And she's the one that taught me that. I've never forgot that. I learned a lot about business just because, like I said, my parents were meth heads. All my brothers and sisters became drug dealers, and I didn't want to live that life, so I just read books. Like I said, you're not in business for yourself. You're in business to provide solutions and fix problems. It's okay to be selfish. I'm not saying, don't go buy that, new laptop or that Rolex. I'm not saying that. Don't go buy a Lambo. That's just, that's I drive a Kia Telluride, y'all. Okay. Before that, it was a Suburban I kept for 12 years. But
I mean, to be honest, you're not supposed to be poor just to be a good person. Like you're supposed to have so much abundance. And if you're living your life you're going to create that abundance naturally. And naturally, you should want to share it.
Yep. 100%. It comes down to the landscaper. Another mentor of mine, he always said somebody's got to clean the shitters and somebody's got to run the country. It doesn't matter what job you do.
Wow. Beautiful. I think Pablo's got one final question.
But I wanted to ask more of a specific question, and it has to do with like the beginning and like the fear, and like you said, there is no easy button, and that's something that I'm like accepting. But basically what I'm doing is I am my own target audience with what I offer, which is a solution for massage therapists to automatically follow up with their leads, which is something that leads to a lot of lost business. I have it pretty much already done, and it's somewhat working for myself. The reason I say somewhat is because it takes time to make sure that the clients are rebooking through my systems and not like me manually reaching out. What advice would you give me in reaching out to other massage therapists in kind of the beta phase? Because I love marketing, but I don't like sales. But I understand that that's something that I'm going to have to get over. So what advice would you give me? That makes sense.
I hate sales. I don't sell a damn thing. So there's that. First thing, like it's the same thing with the website example I gave earlier. Send them an automated text saying, hey, this is Pablo. I'd love for you to not miss any damn appointments. And they're going to reply back, who is this? If you got it automated, this is Pablo. And this is a great thing with Conversation AI, or if you have Zappy Chat. I use both. It depends on the client. You can set this all up to have that conversation with them. And then the very last message, after whether positive or negative intent, it says, by the way, this entire conversation you just had was automated. Book a call with me. Put the proof in your pudding for your client first. And then when you get to the point, I say you should never do ads until you're making at least $20,000 a month. Once you're making $20,000 a month, then do the same thing in an advertisement.
Okay.
But, the prospecting tool, I used to use Leads Gorilla before GHL came out with the prospecting tool. My team would go into Leads Gorilla, say coffee shops or whatever the hell, my brain was thinking at that day. No joke. I would literally just send my team a message in Slack saying today's word of the day is coffee. And so they'd go find coffee shops. And they just go into Leads Gorilla and put in the search term coffee shops and find cities and then just literally bring those leads in and call them.
Huh.
And then I have two people who do websites off the bat. Like if they had a really bad website, they'd go and build a better website and then send them the website saying, hey, if you want this, get on a call with us.
All right. So you're saying use conversational AI, because I wasn't planning on using that. It was just going to be more of an every 7-day automated text reminder that would like keep things simpler for me to fulfill. But would you recommend going the conversational AI route or just like the automated text?
Oh, conversational AI 100% because it's actually easier to set up than automations. Before conversational AI and before, Matt DeSano sold me on Zappy Chat for a lifetime account, you'd think these automations are 10 to 15 actions deep before AI. Now I only need like 2 actions in a workflow, and the rest of it the AI takes care of. This is both, Zappy Chat first, and then conversational AI came out, and I didn't start using conversational AI until like the last few weeks. Now it's a lot better, but Zappy Chat was definitely ahead of the game at that point. So I don't know if you have Zappy Chat. I highly recommend using that. But if you just have conversational AI, just since you have a inward niche, I would set up a simple prompt that every massage therapist can use, because you can put that in a snapshot. I recommend using that. But if you just have conversational AI, just since you have a inward niche, I would set up a simple prompt that every massage therapist can use, because you can put that in a snapshot.
Just to what JJ said, like, it's getting on the phones, it's going door to door, it's hitting up your old contacts, it's networking, it's referrals, it's word of mouth. Like, getting the first 10, probably one of the hardest things I've done, and many people do. But once you catch that momentum, catch that wave, and you get, like, you're in the trenches, like, there's nothing that beats that. Nothing. Like, I'll never, unfortunately, fulfill my dreams for my family of becoming a doctor. But thank God I found Go High Level, and Go High Level has given all of us the opportunity to be millionaires. All of us. It's just whether or not we're willing to dedicate the time and effort to learn it, to mastering it, and then to freaking create $100 million Go High Level offers and market the way JJ mentioned it earlier. So all I can promise is
whether you're low ticket or high ticket, don't matter.
Yeah, don't matter.
You can either get 10 people at $100,000, or you can get 1,000 people at $97 a month.
I prefer the latter. I like 100K.
He wants to go buy the Lambo first.
Okay.
See, me, it's like I told Veronica. When I first got GHL, all I needed was $497. That's all I needed to make a month, which means I can sell 4 people on $97. That's a dumbass offer right there, right?
It is. And they're buying you, Veronica, not the software. They're buying you. So
yep, exactly.
I have
be there
one
for that
client
person.
that I'm doing the done for you white glove. Her site looks great so far. It's not launched yet, but she's going to be switching to $197 a month, and I'm hoping that I can onboard more influencers. I don't know. That's the direction I'm going in right now. So
I would say, Veronica, if you're having a hard time, really think about everybody that you know probably wants to start a business. And if they have not started a business, you tell them why they want to. All you need is 4 people, and they're not going to be like 4 people you don't know. You're going to convince 4 people that you do know that are stuck right now financially. And you're going to tell them this is the way that they can move to the next level. They don't have to sell Go High Level. You just have to show them and convince them that they are already there to do whatever they want to do.
Yeah. So far, like what I've been able to do is I just find people who are like, oh, I need to get a Squarespace website. And I'm like, no, don't do that. Squarespace is actually terrible. It's genuinely, truly, actually horrible. And, I'll show them all of the things that Go High Level can do. And so anyways, that seems to work. But I wasted a lot of time building out a really, really intensive, complete snapshot for real estate agents all last year. And then I discovered that it just wasn't like, that was not a great niche to be building for. So now I'm just going back to the drawing board. Anyways, it's all good. Thanks, guys.
I have a strong R&D policy: rip off and deploy. So I'm gonna give everybody what I'm actually doing. Like I said, I've never done advertising for my white label. I'm gonna start doing it next month. I'm doing a 2-week challenge on how to build a t-shirt shop. And we're just gonna go through that. We're gonna do a 2-week challenge on how to build a t-shirt shop using GHL. And because that's the easiest thing, and everybody comes up with t-shirts. I have not been at a coffee date with somebody, where a bunch of us are just sitting around drinking coffee and everybody's like, oh man, that'd make a great t-shirt. Right? That's what she said, right? It makes a great damn t-shirt. So that's why I'm sticking to that to show these people. And if I can get, 10 people to buy GHL, I'm making $40 and I don't even have to support them. So,
JJ.
do challenges, do webinars, do them.
Well, on that note, JJ, thank you so much for jumping on and sharing your wisdom, and thank you all for sticking around and hanging out with us and chatting. Yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you've got a better taste, a better Oreo taste of building $100 million offers. And I would, next time you jump on this call next week, share your $100 million offer, go through the worksheets, go through the niches, right? Build it out, and we'll be reviewing it. So I'll bring mine, you bring yours. Next week, we talk about GHL money models. So how do we create a pricing package that makes it so that you can make the most out of your clients and your clients are happiest, and your market, or the market that you serve, is also extremely happy with the offer that you present to the world. So yeah, sound good, guys? Thank you so much for joining.